Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben Parks, 225 marathoner, and today it's my mission to help improve your cadence, to help you become faster, more efficient and overall less injury prone. Right, let's get stuck into this. Let's get this video done. Quickly guys, before we get started, please check out my website, benparks.com, for the latest and greatest training plans, thousands of 5-star reviews from all sorts of runners around the world that have hit amazing times, and also the best running hats in the business and the best gear to help you out with your running. Feel free to use code YouTube for 10% off your order. Right, back to the video. It's great to have you back for another video guys, and as always feel free to move your mouse around down below to look at the various sections. We'll stick the timestamps up on the screen here. So today we're obviously going to be chatting about cadence and ways we can improve it. And the good news with all of this is if you do have a particularly low cadence, maybe around 150, 160, there's lots of tips and tricks you can put in place to raise that up, become a faster runner, and most importantly, cover the ground more efficiently. So let's start out chatting about what is cadence and how we go about measuring it. Well, cadence quite simply is the number of steps we take per minute as we are going about our run. In terms of the best ways to measure it, well, most modern GPS watches now will measure this for you as you go. They have the accelerometers built inside them to know every single stride you're taking, and when you finish your run it will give you that data. If you do have a slightly older watch that doesn't have this, you can get the chest straps, so the Garmin HRM Run, the Wahoo Tikka as well, have this built in to monitor how much your body is going up and down, and it knows your stride rate. So you can get one of those, pair it up, and again you'll get that data at the end of your run. Alternatively, if you're not a tech person like we are here on the channel, you can quite simply monitor this yourself. Count as you go along. Most people will count how much their right or their left foot, whichever you favour, hits the ground during a 30-second period, and then times that number you get by 4, and that will give you your cadence. So why is cadence so important? Well, runners that do have a low cadence are at risk, and they're more than likely to be overstriding, landing with each stride with that foot too far out in front of them. They're going to be landing on their heel, causing a bit of a braking force with a bit too much load coming up through their body. So if you're someone around about that 150, 160 cadence mark, increasing your cadence up around that 170, 180, 190 mark is more than likely to lead to your foot landing much more underneath your center of mass, with a tripod landing, helping your body to absorb that impact much better. There's been various studies done, we'll link to one down below, to show that this reduced strain coming up through our body will reduce that injury risk. If you're interested in learning more, go and check out that article. So you may have heard this magic number of about 180 steps a minute, coined by Jack Daniels and the studies that he had done into running. For most people, well, for all people in fact, they're going to have a range. Now for me, when I go out on my easy runs, it's around about that 180 steps a minute. If I'm doing my marathon pace work in a marathon, it goes up to about 185. If I'm running like a 5k flat out, it's going to be about 190, 192, something like that. So all I say is everyone's going to have a range. Now if you're around 150, 160, that really is a little bit too low. For most people, you want to be getting in this nice 170 to 190 mark. That's the sort of sweet spot that everyone should be aiming for. So this is the part of the video you all want to know all about. How are we going to go about increasing our cadence, getting up into that nice 170 to 190 range? Well, the first thing I'll say is go and get yourself a metronome. Now, most Garmin watches, I'm not sure about other brands, we'll put that up on the screen, have a metronome app built into it. You can get it to tick along at that mark that you're aiming for in time with your running. You can also get apps for your phone. You can just listen on your headphones as you go along as well. Again, running perfectly at the right cadence that you're setting it for. You can also get some music tracks on Spotify. There's some playlists that are set to exactly 180 beats a minute, and you can just run nicely at that beat. It's really important to note here, don't just jump from 160 and then try and be running at 180. You're going to be using some slightly different muscles, landing in a different way. You don't want to overload your body. So just jump up by about 5, what we say. If you're running about 160, do 165 for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then up to 170 for 2 or 3 weeks after that. We'd also say dedicate just set periods of your run to this. If you're going out for for a 30-minute run, 40-minute run, it's going to get very boring just listening to your watch clicking away or things in your headphones. You want to be out enjoying your run at the end of the day. So maybe just do a little 5-minute block, and then you can check in every now and then to see how you're going. What a lot of people want to focus on in this stage is reducing your stride length slightly rather than trying to run way faster. So you want to just really focus on that. Foot landing nicely under your center of mass as you go along. That's the best thing to visualize, having your head as you're moving across the ground. Another couple of things you can do is things like strides. Really good to add in at the end of your run. Again, running at that super fast all-out rate, about 95% effort for just about 10, 15, up to 20 seconds. Turning your legs over really nice like that is going to naturally increase your cadence. And then on top of that, you can also do some downhill reps. If you've just got a very slight decline somewhere near where you live, it can be good not to run all out down that, but just run down it at a nice steady rate. Again, your cadence will be going up naturally. It's just about retraining your brain, retraining your body, that's how we now like to land. And then finally, as I said earlier on, adding this data field to your watch if you have it. We'll show some footage of me using it on the screen now. Can be really good, again, just to monitor as you're going along, that live feedback, so you know what it feels like as you go. And in summary, this is going to take a few months to do. You can't just go out and suddenly be running a much higher cadence. If you went from up 20 beats a minute, it is just going to cause you a lot of issues. So as we said earlier, do it gradually, as I did when I first started running. I went from about 160 up to that nice 180 mark, and it took me a couple of months to do, but it can be done. Stick to it and you'll be covering the ground a lot better. So after a few weeks of working on your cadence, hopefully bringing those numbers up nicely, you should feel a lot more confident out there, covering the ground a little bit better and hopefully a little less injury prone. As always, let us know how you're getting on. But once you're really happy with those cadence numbers, it's then time to start working on your stride length again, bringing it back up for some of us, just working on increasing that, making it a little bit longer. Cadence multiplied by our stride length, the amount of distance we're covering with every stride, gives us our speed, and the more we can increase them both will mean we're covering a lot more ground, running a little bit faster and chasing down those PRs. So that will be the subject of our next video, increasing stride length. I'm already working on that now. When this video hits 1,000 likes, then we'll put it out there. So smash that like button down below. It would be great to get that out there as soon as possible. We'll link to it down below and at the end of this video once it's out there as well. For now, why not sit back, go and watch one of my latest race videos that will be coming up soon. Thanks very much, guys. We'll see you in the next one.